I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown! Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. This time, Hunter and I are going through my 40 through 31. Dun, 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 dun. It's very exciting. Very exciting. Very good games. We'll see
Just
if you
good
agree.
games? Just good games?
I said very good games. They're
Very good.
great.
We'll see.
They're amazing.
I shall be the judge of that.
Yeah, whatever. So, I say, and so I decree, they are the best.
They're not the best.
They're the 40 through 31 best.
There you go.
Just saying. All right, so starting off with my number 40. So get this. It was number 40 last year.
What?
How does this
Shenanigans.
stuff happen?
Tomfoolery.
How does this stuff happen? Macau. It's magically so good it's always a 40.
I thought you were going to say magically delicious.
It's not magically delicious. I have not eaten any of the cardboard bits out of Macau yet. Oh my gosh. Stefan Feld. This is one of my faves of his, of course. This one is probably, as far as Feld weight, it's a medium Feld, I would say. It's not super heavy.
Yeah.
It's definitely not light. But what you're doing with this one is you are collecting some different types of goods, and you're sailing a little ship around, and you're going to sell them off, hopefully before other people do, because you get more victory points if you sell them off before other people. So you want to be the first one to the island to drop them off. Each of the islands only collects one type of good, and you have to spend your little dudes to be able to travel. Your little cubes. I believe it's cubes, isn't it?
Yes.
This is all the cubes. Yeah, this is all the cubes. There's so many cubes. This is another one of those Feld cube games. I don't know why, my brain just went like that. But it's another one where there's colored cubes, so you can do certain things with them. They pay for certain areas on this little map. So half of it, in fact, let me show you this lovely little map. Because our board here, oh no, here we go. There's so many things going on in this game. We'll talk about the dice here in a second. I mean, the cube, what are they? Rondelle. I don't know why I said dice.
Compass rose.
Yes, it's a compass rose. There you go. So, we have a small board. Don't get too excited. It's crazy, I know. Half of it, more than half, 2/3 of it is our little map where you're sailing around with your little boat going to these places, and you can see by the different colors and goods and stuff, hopefully, if the sheen, it's very, yikes. Okay. Anyway, they have different goods that they will sell, so you have to sell farther to get some of these. These goods are sitting on top of these little houses over here, however, and you'll notice that there's cube costs of various colors. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Cube costs of various colors, and you have to go to these places and pay for them to get this off, and then you collect them, and then you can sail around and spend them, okay? Meanwhile, there's this little trail that you can keep moving up in front of other players to be the first person. That kind of sets the player order, breaks ties, that kind of thing. So, how do you do all of this with all these cubes in this little cute board? Well, you have these things, okay? You got your player board, and you have your compass. On the outside of this lovely compass is where you're going to put all your little funky cubes. Because you're going to roll dice at the beginning of the turn. And you get to choose 2 of those dice. You get to pick either one. And they're colored. The same thing as the cubes. They're the same colors as the cubes. The lovely assistant Hunter will show you there. See? Lovely, lovely. You'll get to pick 2 of those. And if, say, you got a red 3 and you choose that die, then you get to put 3 cubes next to the 3 that are of the red color. Okay? Simple enough, right? That's how you're doing that. Well, once the turn starts, it goes, oop, and it turns, and wherever this little arrow is pointing is the cubes that you have for actions that turn. By the way, did I mention that if you don't have any cubes at the place where it turns to, you have crazy penalties? So the trick is you want to make sure that no matter when this thing is going to turn on your next turn, you want to make sure you've got lots of actions and options, at least something there to be able to do anything. And then here what's going on with this is the board where you get to collect some cards. And you get one every turn, so they also cost different cubes. And if you have this whole thing filled up and you don't have a place to put a new card the next turn, there's some more bad penalties. So the object here is to get a bunch of good cards, pay them off easily with the different colored cubes. And they also give you some benefits and help you build up your little engine and stuff so that you can keep churning away and making sure that you're getting cubes throughout. A lot of stuff going on. So addictive and fun. It's so much fun. I love building the bonuses and stuff off of these cards because a lot of times it's like if you get a red cube, you can automatically trade it in for 2 green cubes or something like that. So you can get all sorts of little engine things to help you build up more actions during your turn. So much going on. I love this game, and I believe this is one of the ones that got a reprint, right?
Yes. It's been out of print for years and years and years. I called it there would be a 10th anniversary edition in 2019. There was not.
Oh.
But there is being re-released, rethemed as Amsterdam in the new Feld City collection. So it was kickstarted last year. It's fulfilling sometime this year, and I assume it's going to hit retail sometime thereafter. So you can get this again as Amsterdam.
So that is something to look forward to, and I highly recommend that. It sounds like they streamlined it a little bit and
They
tweaked
streamlined it, tricked it up, and I think it comes with an expansion in the box, I think.
Intriguing.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Or if you want to hunt it down, we love this game. This is
I
a great
hunted it down.
2-player.
I hunted it down. Probably 2015, maybe. I went looking for
Yeah,
it. It was
it's
already
been a
out
while.
of print then, and I bought it secondhand at a decent price.
So you can find them. It's just a matter of looking around, and people may want to offload them now too
To get the new one.
So it may be easier to find this one. Worth looking around for it. But that is my number 40, and that's Macau.
It was my 55.
Oh, such a good game. Macau. Macau. My number 39 was my 31 last year. So it's hovering around the same region, same 10 and everything. And that is the big box that, compared to some nowadays, isn't all that big, but still a monster box. Bomb, 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 bomb. Mystic Vale. It's a monster. I feel like this does need a timpani drum to introduce it. This is the big collection box of Mystic Vale goodness that they currently have. So what is so magical about Mystic Vale?
Magical.
I know. It is a deck builder, but a card crafter as well. This is, I love this little gimmicky thing, and I'm excited to hear that they're starting to do more with it finally. But what you're doing is you've got cards with clear plastic covers, sleeves, and you can add and drop cards into it that fill in some text in different places that give those cards extra abilities or a detriment, all sorts of different things. Mostly, if it's a detriment, it's something so you get something really super cool and awesome with it. So you get to craft your cards as you're collecting more cards and add perks for them, and you're building up and you're trying to, of course, obtain the most victory points like you do in every game, right? And it's a typical deck builder. It's one of those where you deal out your cards, pay for, buy stuff, get new cards if you want, slap down, boom, next person. It's so good, so good. So let me show you some of the, here we go. We've got a starting deck right here. Okay. The starting deck, not so exciting, right? Mostly blank, but oh, look at this. See how there's something in the middle of that card? And then, oh, there's one on the bottom. They have 3 sections to them, a bottom, middle, and a top. And as you go in and get different cards, let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is very full. Very full. Let's see, what are these? I can't tell if they're the, nope, not what I want.
What are you looking for?
I was just looking for cards that fill in stuff, but...
It's not any of these.
Oh.
They are...
See, I have not gotten into the big box since we leveled everything up.
It's all these.
Hunter's like reorganized all this.
No,
No, this is the blank decks. The starting decks. It's labeled. Advancements and...
That's all these.
Oh, okay, there we go. Alright, they're just all in type. Okay. So, okay, it's different sets. So, here we go. Yeah, they're hard to see because they're clear, as you can see. They're clear except for what text they're going to have in the middle. And you'll see that they have costs and the cost over here. If they have any kind of issues, detriments like this one, takes away a victory point. But look at that. Look at the stuff it gives you. Crazy. Plus there's symbols here. Like you'll see there's a little, well, let me come up closer so you can see it. You can see the emblems there. There's like a little helmet in the corner. There's some cards that say if you have a certain number of helmets on this card, you get X amount of coins or something like that. So it's really cool. There's a lot of opportunities for combos and things like that, like your typical deck builder. But again, you're building the cards on top of the deck. So you could just make some really powerhouse cards that when they pop, you just can do all sorts of things. Or spread it evenly about your deck so you have just a solid deck. Choice is up to you. I love it. I don't necessarily think that you need all of this, every expansion under the sun. Sure, it adds some good variety, but all they do is add more cards to it at this point. There's not a lot of super spicing
one of the
up.
expansions, I don't know what the name of it, the one that does the night and day.
The night and day one's our favorite.
Which basically doubles the number of cards you can choose from.
That one is really good because it has the whole night and day phenomenon, which I think was it Ascension? I remember playing that one of the other deck builder games that I really liked. So
the night and day expansion.
Night and day expansion. Is that what it's called?
No.
Oh, you don't remember? That's okay. You can look it up. It's easy to find on BGG. Are you gonna dig it out? He's got to. He's got to do that. I don't know why. I really like card crafting. It's just so much fun, and I'm excited because I think there's a game that's either coming to Kickstarter this year. There's coming out this year, some way, some shape or form.
It's the Conclave, the one the box is from.
Oh, okay. Conclave is the one. Okay, so there's your expansion. But they're finally starting to do more with the whole card crafting idea, and it's really exciting to see what they're going to do with that. I like how this has started, but it seems like, except for the night and day part, some of it just kind of fizzled. They just gave more of the same, and they haven't done much with it.
They had like one new little twist to the game. And more cards, but other than that, no.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. So it's like, you don't have to go crazy over the expansions yet. I'm looking forward to seeing more with it. But I love what they've got in here because we do have so many of the cards. There's so many different combos and crazy things that you can do with it. And it really becomes this race to see how many like victory points you can build up and whatnot. A lot of fun. I like it way more than he does.
It's an interesting twist on deck building, though, because your deck... It's not really even deck building. Your deck doesn't get bigger or smaller. You have 20...
Well, it's a set size of cards. Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
You're changing the cards more so than adding or taking away cards. Yeah, it's my 210.
Wow, it made the list, though.
It got ranked.
What?
I like this game. It just gets samey after a while.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. But I don't know. I'm hooked on that. This and like Dominion and other games I could play over and over and over and drive poor Hunter crazy because he likes to try new games and I like to play the old ones over and over and over. So, but it's the card crafting. If you want a unique mechanism, something different to try, you've got to try this out. It's a lot of fun.
Sorry.
And it's pretty. The art is beautiful in that. The art is very beautiful. All right. Then, my number 38 has gone up a hair. It was number 45 last year. So it's going strong. And that is the awesomeness that is the Networks. So this is another very unique game, but in a very different way. This game, you are a network exec, and you've got your channel, and you need to fill up your lineup for the evening. And you've got the prime time going. You want to have the best shows, the best actors, the most profitable commercials, and you need to set these up. The problem is there's other people vying for these same things, the evil channel next door. And so they may be trying to take some of those things as well, because there's a tableau of different cards that you can choose from. Oh my goodness, this game. The theme is fantastic. This is another one of those games that's in that 60 to 90 minute sweet spot. The art's silly. The game shows and the sitcoms and all of those are spoof names off of real actual shows. Pretty sure the actors are too. It is such a cute game. So let's peek at it here. Let's see if they have little TVs. There's not a whole lot to look at per se, but I did want to point out a couple things here. After a while, as you can see here,
that's an expansion.
Oh, I wanted to see.
That's an expansion.
It's all the expansion stuff.
Yeah. What do you want?
Well, I was going to show them how they go from one to the reruns. You know, like down to
the player boards.
Yeah. Where's the player? Is it just? I thought those were part of it.
No, they're here.
Okay. Hunter's reorganized all the games.
There's a player board up there.
Okay. So, here we go. We have a player board. And I'm going to, again, I got to zoom in to show you guys these because they're so much fun. Ignore the box that just made noise. So you can see there's a little spot here where it says reruns. And, at the bottom my hand was covering it, archives. And then at the top that is green room. Okay, so what's going on is you're prepping them in the green room. And they're first showing there. And then you've got reruns. You move your cards to the reruns. And then you've got archives, which is when they're no longer being played actively. You've got the time slots on the other side. That's 8 and 9, 10 p.m. And you want to try to find shows that actually match those time slots. You can put them in different time slots, but they're going to make you more money and be more widely received because your victory points are viewers. You're going to get the most viewers if you find a 9 p.m. show and play it there. For example, how you can see that is this. Waterbug, aka Firefly, har har. If you look over in the corner here, there's a little rocket ship, tells you it's a sci-fi show. And it says 9 p.m. Okay? So it tells you that. It also has some different slots on the side here. This tells you about the viewer counts. First round, you get 5 viewers. Next round, you get 7. Third round, you get 12. This one was a hit the longer it played. And so when it's going into these reruns, it's getting more and more, but then in the last round it only has 1 before it goes down and disappears into the archives. So you also want to keep an eye out for how they're cycling through your time slot, and when the time comes, when that round comes where it's only going to be 1 viewer, you probably want to replace this with another 9 p.m. show. So you have to watch that and see also, when is your opponent going to be trading out those? What are the cards that got laid out that round? Are there 9 p.m. slots? Sometimes you just have to take advantage of it when you can. And then, of course, they're adding actors and commercials and things like that give you extra viewers, extra money, because you also need to make money off of this in order to be able to buy more and make more money with better programs. You start out with some generic programs there, and they're really terrible. It sounds like something that'd be on at 3 a.m. on those old channels, you know. But back in the day when they had the static instead. Lot of fun. I love the theming with this. The theme works great with the gameplay. I think I told you, what was it, 60 to 90 minutes. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid game. You like this one a lot as well.
Yeah, it's my 87.
Nice.
And so it actually went up. It went up 10 spots, mainly due because I really enjoyed the executive expansion.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you kind of asymmetrical powers to your channel, so you basically have like little superpower, something you're a little better at than everyone else. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The expansions are good. The base game is good. You don't really need the expansions, but it does make the game more interesting and a little meatier, I guess.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really like about Networks is, and that's probably why it went up for me too. The base game is amazing. Now, if you play it a lot, it might start to feel a little samey, and which is why the expansion is so wonderful because it brings more variety to it. But honestly, the base game itself is really solid. And that's why I love the Networks. My number 38. Super cool.
Not too shabby. A game I actually like.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I liked all of them. Well,
such a Grinch. You're such a Grinch. Okay. All right. So my number 37 dropped a bit. It was my number 21. It just doesn't get played very often. I need to pester people when the world is free and open again to play more with me, because I think I've burnt poor Hunter out on it. And I like to play games over and over and over, as you know. And that is... You can't tell what this game is? I'm just kidding. Star Realms. Now, this isn't the box that they normally come in. They normally come in packs and things, but we just got a little card box, and mine is chock full of different cards, expansions. I think I stuck some special events and stuff in those. I kind of separated everything with papers and whatnot. This thing is chock full. Chock full. Star Realms is a very quick and easy, really super easy to teach. Doesn't even take up a ton of table space. It's a little deck builder game. And it's all about space. You've got different cards that have different factions that'll give you bonuses off of each other. The card here, this is a promo card, but you can kind of get the gist of it here. If you look in the top corner, you see a little red symbol. That red symbol tells you what faction it is. The other side there in the corner is the cost. So it's really easy. And then you have bonuses down here. The first one with the symbol that matches there is if you have another card that is of the same faction that's out that turn, then you get faction bonuses that go with it. And there's also an option that if you decide to trash the card, which destroy it and get it out of your deck entirely, sometimes they'll give you some really cool superpowers for doing that as well. So you get to choose what you do. You draw your 5 cards, you play them, you attack your opponent, you buy more stuff, and whoosh, sweep it up, they go. Once you get started with it, you go really quickly. You go until you run out of hit points. And the nice thing about this game as well is you can determine how many hit points, how long of a game do you want? Do you want to start? You can play with the standard, I think it's 50. But if you want to play a shorter game or a longer game, you could always adjust that, of course. Highly portable. This has been carried in a purse many a time, hence why it's not as pristine as it used to be. But it's perfect to take places, teach people. All you have to do is teach them how the turns go and to read the cards, and that's it. It's a really easy game to teach. I love playing Star Realms. The expansions are fun, too. They've got events, like I was saying, and things like captains and more stuff for each faction. Trying to think of what else. A lot of little things like that, little details that they've thrown in. Gambits and more, just more of the same of all of those things. Yeah. So, very good. Solid game.
It is my number, not on my list.
Someday I'll convert them into these card games. Someday. It's gonna happen.
It's fun. It's just
it's not your thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'll play, but it's not.
It's my favorite.
It's not meaty enough for me. It's like boom, boom, boom. It's over. And what happened? And did we do anything? I don't know.
Yeah, I like the speediness of that game. So if you don't want a super heavy melt your brain game, that is perfect. It's very casual gaming. All right, my number 36 is brand new to the list, and I think it's gonna stay pretty high. Honestly, I've played this several times now, and I am in love with this game. It is Awkward Guests. First played this, was it a convention?
Yeah, well...
or was it a game day? I can't remember.
I think it was a convention, maybe?
And then someone got it, and we've played it at a game day, and we've played it 2-player.
I think Tommy's the one that
I think
we played with him first.
Might have been, yeah. But I can't remember if it was at a convention or if we just brought it over. But either way,
anyway,
we've played this with different player counts. 2-player, that's okay, not too bad. It's got some interesting variant to it. Multiplayer, it shines beautifully. This is what I always wanted Clue to be as a kid. This is like big kid's Clue right here.
Yeah,
it's the whodunit, and it's like one of those logic puzzles where you're trying to figure out, okay, was it Mrs. White with a candlestick in the garage? What? Okay, yes, there's more rooms, there's more characters, way more weapons, there's motive, there's all these different little things that you have to kind of figure out with it. It's still a whodunit, but what you have is you'll get a deck of cards, or a handful of cards, and they have different clues, and they're of different validity. So there's some that are like a level 1, they're only worth 1 point, and it's like, well, the staff said there's this rumor that blah, 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 so it's hearsay, you don't know. And then 2 is like, it's fairly certain, like, they found a receipt or something like that. And then 3 is the police report did a blood test, and this is the result. So it's like concrete scientific evidence cannot be refuted, right? You know it's a fact. So you've got these 3 levels of cards, and you get to choose and decide, like, say Hunter goes in and he says, I'm looking for Mrs. White and the candlestick in the garage or something. I can pick one of those 3 elements to show him a card for with certain points and stuff. Details for that in the rules, but I can choose which one of those, if I have any of those cards, which one I show him. And he can decide if he wants to take that bait, so to speak, and then he trades me an equal point value amount of clues my direction. So we trade information. So what you withhold and what you don't, becomes really powerful. But it's also important to remember what you've done, because it's also one of those things where after we've traded cards, if I ask something similar, he could possibly hand my cards back to me. And then, snicker, I just wasted my time, right? So there's a lot. Oh, man, it's such a good game. I love it. And you're going through and you've got your own little chart with all of the runes on it you mark up, and you can leave notes and make your own notes and try to determine and narrow everything down. And, oh, yeah. You get to hide behind these cool little shields, which are nicely laminated. They also have a map on the inside, and they show you, for example, everybody with their motives. And they've got a little bit of stuff about the rule play and whatnot in here. Is a nice little cheat sheet. But yeah, the board, so to speak, is right here. And you mark it up. As you can see on one of mine. Actually, I think this is Hunter's. But you can see that it's been scribbled on. And it is so much dang fun. It is addictive. As soon as you play one, you want to play it again. I love this game. If you enjoyed Clue as a kid or played it before and you thought, this is kind of cool, but it feels like it's missing something, this is your next step. You got to try this game out. Absolutely love this.
So, this isn't my kind of game, but it's my number 78, so that should tell you something.
Yeah.
This is not even remotely the kind of game I enjoy, but this game's really fun.
It is
really
super good.
It's a big logic puzzle. I mean, it's just,
yeah.
If this person was in this room, then they couldn't have made it over to this room, and they couldn't possibly have had this weapon. So you can eliminate this person, but then again, if that person was lying about where they were, then it could be this other. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, because there's also things you get, like interviews from them, right? And they'll be like, "Well, I was in the room with Mrs. White." Well, now you got to find out if Mrs. White tells you that.
The bad guy lies, so you got to kind of backtrack. It's
crazy. It's so good. And there's kind of some difficulty levels to this too. So you can, if it's not challenging enough and you didn't melt your brain the first time, you can kick it up a notch, which still blows my mind.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
So if you like logic deduction games, and if you like looking for a more gamery Clue, this is because it's the same sort of thing. It's a process elimination. You have 10 different people, and you got to try to narrow it down to one. And there's 20 different rooms, and you got to narrow it down to figure out the path they made. Basically, have a path to go to the murder scene.
Yeah, they have to be able to get to the murder scene.
Right,
yeah.
and then the other ones, and a big, like you said, like 30 weapons or something.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And they all have like 5 motives or something each. I mean, it's pretty wild. I absolutely adore that game, though. So good.
Good one.
It is. All right, so my number 35 was my 61. It's come back because, well, I think part of it is we hadn't played it in a very long time. And we played it again, and it was that refresher, oh, wow, I'm really excited about this. I forgot how good this game is. That was The Castles of Burgundy. I'm still kind of shocked at how quickly it bounced back up my list after playing it. We hadn't played it in like 2-3 years or something crazy.
Yeah, I think the last time we played it is when we did the combo Trajan Burgundy at the same time.
Yeah, and that was years ago. It's crazy, yeah. And so this was really fun. I forgot just how much I like it. The thing that usually I remember first off is you're taking your little tiles that you have that are unique, and you're making you're kind of cultivating your land and settling it and putting buildings on it and whatnot. Okay, that's great. So you have your little kingdom that you're building up. But what's really fun about it is the main board, to me, and that's where you're going around and you've got the dice and you're trying to pick, based on your dice roll, which section you're going to get stuff from, and that's how you get most of your tiles. You get your resources and how you start to build up the engine and stuff to be able to get enough resources to pay for super cool tiles and stuff like that. I really like that. This is a lot of people's go-to. If you want to try Stefan Feld, you should play this game first. Because it is one of his lightest ones, and it's the easiest, probably one of the easiest ones to teach, I would guess.
I, for one, will disagree with you now.
Well, now.
The Castles of Tuscany is the better game. Until that time, this one... But this is probably if you play Castles of Tuscany, this is a good next step for a slightly meatier game, and then you can branch out to other ones.
There you go. But yeah, but before Tuscany came out, which is still very, very new, so... Yes. Odds are, most people will tell you straight off that you need to try this one first.
And this is a lot of people's favorite Feld too. So
understandably, it's so good, So good. And I love how it works out. The nice thing is with the boards too, there's several different maps. So you can pick and choose which map you want to fulfill. Do you want one that has like a river going through the middle of it? Do you want, like how you want to, there's a little bit of variance there, which does change up the game significantly. Because you have to fill out areas with a certain type of tile to be able to complete an area to get another set of victory points and stuff. So it might, I don't know, mixing that up sometimes helps. Plus the tiles come out randomly. There's so much variance for replayability here. Is this another one that's, I want to say 90 minutes or so?
No, less than that.
Is it less? Oh, 30. It says 30 to 90 minutes. I guess if you're just a superstar, you could crack it out. I think it's closer to an hour for us, though, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
You think so?
Maybe.
I think it's closer to an
maybe.
hour. It's closer to an hour.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's super good. And is this one of the ones that's getting a new shiny?
It's already got a new reprint, so
Okay.
There's a new version of this that's readily available.
Okay, so the cover's different, right? I'm
Yes.
assuming. Oh, they missed out on this guy. You missed out on the guy. The guy. He says,
Does he? Is that what he says?
And this guy is a spy.
Yes.
He's a spy. Once again, strange covers make great Euro games. Proof positive, right?
So this one's my number 69.
There you go. So another one of those good old solid Feld games. Good times, good times. So my number 34 was my 39. So obviously it's staying about the same spot. So it gone up a little bit. I think it's probably because we had another play of it. And I love this game. I will probably always love this game. And that's Yamatai. The first thing that drew me to it was the art. And I was like, wow, I hope this is a cool game because the art is gorgeous and I would really like to play that. We played it. I fell in love with it. And, of course, we ended up with it. So in this game, you're going and visiting with little boats. Lovely, cute little wooden, different colored boats. And you're building a little path with these boats to different islands. And in the islands, you can do a couple of things. You can take resources off of it, build buildings there. There's a couple things you can do with that. And the pattern of the different colored boats they make around the island themselves can also be something that you can do to collect victory points for certain patterns. So there's all of this stuff going on. It's almost like a Feld game in a way with all the different ways that you can get points for it, right? You can go around doing different points. You can build off of what other people have built because the different colored boats are not marked like by player. It's the different types of abilities that you can do with the boats again. So if Hunter has started something on one side of the board, but it's the same, it's like a good start for a pattern that I can do, I can go out on my turn, snipe his little area and put down stuff and use that and get the benefits from it. It's neat. The other thing that's really neat about this game is the way you determine your player turn and the order and all of that. And it's got these cool little, let me show you. They're so pretty. The art for this is so pretty.
It's all right.
Hush you. All right, so the turn.
What have you done?
I know, right? I'll have to get closer again so you guys can see these. They're so pretty. But you've got, like here, see it says 8. And here's 4. Now, 8, cool. This is a more powerful thing. You're swapping 2 boats places and you get these 2 colored ships. But you're going to be 8th in turn order. So you're way at the end. So you get something powerful, you go to the end. Meanwhile, if you want to be 4th, you get 1 boat and you get to put a dude down, a little boat down in the water. So not as much, but you get to be 4th in place. So what happens is you're going to be getting these bonuses and benefits, and the better they are, the farther back in the line you're going to get. So if you want to be 1st, you get like 1 little puny boat. And you're building those up. The island itself, let me show you the board. It's so pretty. So pretty, pretty. Okay, there's that. And this is a larger board. You can see here. It's upside down. Okay, so here's the board. Okay, at first you're like, that's not so pretty, Rebecca. What are you talking about? Well, part of the thing is, these are going to be covered with all these different little island tiles. They're brightly colored. Yeah, and the pieces. Look at how bright they are. They're all crazy bright. And you've also got on top of some of the different islands these resources, and they're also brightly colored and beautiful. They're different flowers. Oh my gosh, it's all like tropically bright. Just gorgeous art. Which this is Bruno Catala, Mark Pakian, and Days of Wonder with crazy awesome production value. Beautiful game. I think this is another one. This is they also did 5 Tribes, right? If I remember right, Days of Wonder.
Yes, but it's,
I don't think it's the same.
Bruno Catala, but I think he did it with a different
person. Yeah, it's not in the same spot. But it is so good, and it's another one. Let me see what the time is on it.
Bruno Catala did it by himself.
Oh, did he? Okay. So another solid game by our buddy Bruno here, and it says 40 to 80 minutes. I want to say this is probably about an hour for 2-player. It's fun 2-player. It's fun more players. It just makes it tighter, and sometimes more opportunities for you to fill out your patterns because other people are starting to fill in the board as well. Super good game. Love, love, love it. I love it way more than Hunter does.
171.
Yeah, I was going to say. Which is funny. I don't know. This is definitely a solid medium weight game. Huh. I don't know what's wrong with him.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's all right, he says.
It's all right.
Huh. It's a really good game.
It's all right.
I love it.
It's all right.
Is it still available?
I have no idea.
Don't know. Look it up. Hopefully you'll find it. Oh, this is the one that's probably going to make Hunter fall out of his seat a little bit.
Fall out of my seat?
Well, it was my number 8 last year.
What?
But it's my 33 now. It's been punished. Because quite frankly, just looking at it kind of depresses me. I love this game. But there is no way I'm going to get to play this game. I have not played this game in over a year. Nor am I likely to for a long time yet. Sadly. Oh, so sadly. It is one of the best games out there. Twilight Imperium. Yeah, probably within the next year. Hopefully it'll bounce right back to something in between. Probably closer to the 8 than this 33 because, well, what? There's no way we're going to get to play this game right now. Unless we start training Nessa hardcore. It's a lot for her, I think. So, this is...
how the mighty have fallen.
This is your 4X game to a T. You do...
To a T.
With a T. So, you are doing all of the things. Exploring and exterminating and expanding and the works, right? But, everybody's got an asymmetrical alien race. You're all sort of have the same goals. You want to get to Megatron Rex, this planet in the middle that gives you a stupid amount of victory points. It's really hard to keep it once you get there. You kind of have to play King of the Hill and beat everybody away from that once you get there in order to get said victory points. You need to go in and build up armies and take over areas and negotiate.
Gosh, it sounds amazing.
Rules. It is amazing.
Wow, it sounds a lot better than 30 what?
3.
Wow.
Yeah, huh? Again, can't play it right now, so you know. Now, what else? One of the reasons that this dropped and it made me so sad is, okay, we have this unplayed box. And you're going to see this and you're going to weep, because I do. Do you see this? This is the glorious new big fancy schmancy expansion that changes everything.
Still in shrink.
And it's still in shrink because we can't play it. It's killing me. And so I punished it.
I didn't punish it. I'm looking forward to it.
I have a feeling it may jump right back to that 8 and then some when we play this. Because this game, this is the 4th edition, right? 4th edition? We played the 3rd edition when we first played Twilight Imperium. The improvements from 3rd to 4th edition were amazing. What we've researched and found that this is going to do makes it even more amazing, which I didn't really think was possible. So I'm really, really, really excited to play this for that reason, and which is why I'm pretty sure we're going to see this back in its rightful place next year.
It's rightful, you said exactly. Correct.
Well, right now,
word.
all it is collecting dust and making me sad. So it's going to get punished.
But memories, such fond memories of betrayal and...
Oh, yeah, that. Let me tell you a story.
No, let's not.
I'm usually a straightforward,
One time
honest
I trusted you and tried to work with you.
Yeah, see,
The one
usually,
time.
okay, Hunter's MO is, I don't play co-op. So when he says, hey, you know what, we should ally together and, like, accomplish this mission and this and that, there's no problem. Let me fly through your lands, no big deal. Yeah, you should be suspicious of that. Because as soon as it's not beneficial to him, he will betray you. This is standard MO. I fall
don't know what
for it
she's talking
about
about.
50% of the time.
I am very trustworthy, honorable.
So the last time we did play this, I think it was the last
I thought
time.
we weren't telling this story.
I'm telling this story. Last time we played this, I
Last
was
time
like,
you played this.
yeah, last time I played it. You did play it an extra. See, that's another reason it got punished. I didn't end up playing with you guys, and now it's been even longer. So, last time I played this, I was like, you know what? Turnabout is fair play, and I had a beautiful opportunity to do what he always does to me. So I'm like, hey, we should ally, blah, blah, blah. And of course, since I'm Miss Innocent always, he's like, sure, we'll do that. La, 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 la. And I'm like, wow, he actually joined me. He usually doesn't play co-op. So I was sure he was going to betray me later. I just beat him to it. And he was so stunned and shocked. He fell out of his chair at the end.
I cried.
He did. The whole rest of the game, I can't believe you did that. You betrayed me.
The rest of the game, the rest of the week.
He still does it. It's been years.
My number 3 board game of all time. The third best game ever made. Not the 30 whatever.
33rd?
Yeah.
That's only for now. Like I said, this is probably a
You need to
temporary
take a 3 and
mark off that extra, mark off that
go.
10 space.
There
What's
you
wrong
go.
with you?
30 makes it.
Touch my list.
Take the 30 out and make it a 3. All right, let's move on. Sad times.
Yeah, let's move on because it does make me sad. I love that game. That game is amazing. Now, the thing I didn't tell you, that's an 8-hour game. That is not a little...
It was not as long as the other one.
Yeah, but if you play with the full player count...
It's about an hour per person.
I rest my case. Okay. Plus, when you're learning new stuff or you have new players, add time to that because there's so much to go over. That's messed up, dude. Anyways.
I thought we were moving on.
I thought so too. I can't help it. You're a mess. Okay. So my number 32 was my 28. It's sitting nice and pretty in about the same spot. And this is another amazing game. Not quite 8 hours, though. The box is somehow just as heavy.
Man, you're killing me with these.
And that's Scythe.
Picks.
Hunter likes this way more than I do, too, which is crazy. Actually, not crazy. This is such a solid game. Such a solid game.
Game because it's full.
That,
The
too.
box is full.
No, I'm not kidding about that. This is as heavy as that giant Twilight Imperium box because it is
I didn't get the big
full.
box, so I crammed everything in the regular box.
And somehow it all fit. Barely, but it fit. Like, it's to the top of this. Oh, Scythe. There's so much going on. You've got this map. Kind of area control. To a point, as it serves your ends. You don't necessarily have to control a lot, but you want to control something to be able to produce some things and build up your little bit of an engine builder. You need to have some resources, which you get off the land. It can be very attacky, or it can be a pretty peaceful game. Again, depends on who's playing and how you want to go after your achievements. There are different achievements that you need to accomplish the game. You need to get a certain number of them to trigger the end game. One of them can be attacking and defeating another player, so it depends on if you want to do that or not. Sometimes you just attack them once and that's it, too. Other times there's a long, drawn-out war. Just depends, like I said, on who you're playing. We have had the most peaceful games and the most warlike games. It's all over the map with this. I love it. And I mean, if you are more of a peaceful group and don't like to fight, you could kind of just choose not to duke it out all the time. I mean, it's very versatile. Everyone's got asymmetrical factions that they're playing, and your player board itself, where you're building all your little engines and stuff, is different from everybody else's too, just slightly. They all achieve the same thing, but how you go about it is different. And let me show you if it's near the top. I'm not dismantling all of this because it's scary. And that was loud. Oh. Okay, well...
what are you looking for?
I just wanted to show them a board, a player... Oh! Yes! Okay, they're accessible, folks. Okay, so everybody gets a board. But they all look a little bit different. They're nice and recessed, so it'll hold the pieces. Now, what's cool is you're going to have a bunch of stuff along the top, okay? And they're blocking stuff, extra perks and bonuses. What's cool is once you pay for them, you get to put them down here and therefore make things that you're buying to build up your engine and stuff cheaper. So cool. I love this. So you get to do that. The other neat thing, fancy little bits. Some of them not so little. Like if you get the airships expansion, look at this monstrosity. Okay, let me show you this stuff. This is ridiculous.
That is from an expansion.
I did.
The green characters are an expansion too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the green color.
Yeah.
So here, I'll show you just a little bit. That looks like viticulture pieces. Okay, so it is Stegmeyer, so you'll recognize some of these if you like viticulture. For example, this is where you put your achievements. You got the little star tokens and stuff. Okay, you'll notice that some of these little buildings that you can build, they also kind of look like viticulture. Here's your little robot tech things. They're all unique looking. They all look different. This just happens to be what the green faction looks like. And then if you get the crazy airships expansion, okay, look at that. And it has its own stand, so it's floating in the air. Look at the size difference. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It is. It's ridiculously huge. Oh my gosh, this game. The factions are different. And there's different event cards and things. And you get to make choices on them. And how you choose determines what you're going to get. And a little bit about your reputation. For example, one of our favorite examples is we like to talk about. I don't want to spoil too many in the game, so we always tell the same story. But you'll have a card and it shows this farmer with a small herd of pigs. And it'll be like, you encounter this farmer having trouble with his herd of pigs. Do you, A, help him herd his pigs back together and collect some money and his loyalty or something? Or B, steal one of the pigs and have it for dinner? Or C, scare the pigs into rampaging through the town and tear up the main street of the town or something crazy. I mean, it'll give you 3 really interesting and very unique options. And some of them give you really good points and cred and all this kind of stuff. And then other stuff is a detriment. And you'll get a bunch of bonus things like extra food and resources, but like a faction won't help you or something. You know, I love the different variety of that. The art is really beautiful. The gameplay is so smooth. And again, there's so much variance to this. You can decide whether or not you do want to battle it out. The different factions have so many cool different abilities. One of them has an ability where you can unlock it that you don't have to go across rivers. Some of them you have to build up to the ability to be able to cross rivers. One of them just leaps across them, for example, because that's the kind of tech they have. Or something that sounds kind of game-breaking, but everybody has something cool and unique that does something equally powerful. Oh, so good. And that's Scythe. And this one is... Does it say how long it plays? I don't...
Probably about 90 minute plus. 90
it's
minutes.
Definitely 90...
Well, I mean, for two players.
2 players is probably...
It says 115 minutes, but it's longer than that.
Yeah.
Especially if you get to the higher player
Totally.
counts.
I would say it's probably around 90 minutes for 2 player. But if you do more, yeah, it's... Whew, it'll go
depends
on.
how quickly people are taking their turn, how much
That's true, if they're
how
new
many
players.
combats are going on. There's a lot of different things.
That's true.
How quickly people get achievements, and etc.
Combats do take a little bit of time to do sometimes.
It's my number 5.
Nice.
What I found interesting. Let's take a little break bit here. So let's see. We got. Let me look at your
Twilight Imperium.
Yeah. So you got Scythe and Twilight Imperium. And then when she's talking about those, it's like, boom, yeah, this is amazing. You do this, and then blah, blah, blah. But then Yamatai's like, it's got beautiful art.
What? It's a
I
peaceful
like the game.
It's not attacky.
And then Twilight Imperium, do this and that, and then you go over, and then Betrayal, and this and that. That's why it's my number 3 and number 5.
Because he likes all the betrayal and beating up. I also like good art and peaceful things, too.
Oh,
you need help.
No.
Speaking of peaceful things.
Oh, dear.
Not as cutthroat. Not as brutal. It was my 47 and went back up to 31. And I think that's because we played it with its expansion.
What?
Which is actually in the expansion box currently. And that is Concordia. And this is with the expansion Salsa. Which, while it sounds like either a spicy condiment or a dance, it is neither. It's just Latin for salt. So, as you can see, this guy, not a good salesman. Selling salt on a field of salt.
This is my shtick. Don't steal my shtick.
This is my show.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That is my observation. He's like, I'll just buy this right over here.
Yeah, he's like, no, buddy. He's like, your salt looks just the same as this free salt over here.
That's like, there's a boat over here. You just start loading the stuff
Yeah,
up.
he just shovels it in. Again, bad Euro cover equals good game. Proof positive.
It's better than the original game cover.
The original game cover
this
has
is one of the candidates for the box band.
Yeah, I know. I'm holding it together because if I let it go, all sorts of terrible things would happen.
Let's see what happens.
No, please don't.
You want to see what happens?
No, I don't want to
see what happens.
I'm just going to prevent that right there. As you can,
I think you saved my life.
I did in many, many ways. So many ways. Did you see how everything was already starting to slouch towards the bottom and fall out? It's terrifying. So, this is your quintessential trading in the Mediterranean. Okay, this is your trading in the Mediterranean Euro. You're going around on this absolutely beautiful board.
What are you doing?
Nothing, apparently. I'm only... Oh, I forgot this is the biggest board on the planet. Okay, hold on.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm feeling the chaos. It's my last game for today. I gotta... Oh, well, we should have just dumped it out anyway. Okay, so, you ready for the fun?
I'm not ready.
Oh, this isn't even the big one. I think you put away the big one.
They're the same size.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't think they are. Don't look like it.
Alright.
Yeah, huh? Okay, maybe I don't.
Same size.
They are. Whatever. Okay, so you have all these boards. They're crazy, right? You can kind of see. I feel like I'm at school again with a map. Map of the Mediterranean. And they're all slightly different. I think one is the original.
No, one's better. It's just two different maps. One's,
Is it
one's
just two?
slightly
I can't remember
better
why.
for a smaller player.
That's
count.
what it is. Okay.
But this is.
I think the one you have is the one we usually
But
play
they're
with.
back and front. There's two.
Yeah, it's
this one's-
two-sided.
This one's Italy, and we have this one's the actual Mediterranean. That one is Spain. Focuses on the Spain area.
Yeah, this one's got Spain and
And then your back side
Corsica and
is-
Sardinia.
I don't even know what that
The back
is.
on this one is
No
the other
clue.
part of... No, this is Turkey.
I don't speak Greek.
Well, it's Turkey and Macedonia, which is part of ancient Greece around there, okay? In fact, there's Greece right there. Okay. Anyways, this is more my shtick than yours anyway. Pick a part of the Mediterranean and you get to trade in it. And across the top are going to be these sliding scale of cards with really cool abilities and stuff on them for you. And you have to pay different amounts. They get more expensive as they go to get these cards. You also get resources, and you get to go around traveling to these places and then put things that'll help you get more resources. You put little houses with your colors on it. And you travel by land or by sea, so you've got cute little boats, and you have little walking dudes as your little wooden pieces to move around on said board. You've got this really beautiful little player mat here that's shining. And you see all the little spaces where it has little alcoves. This is your storage space. This is how many things that you can keep. And I want to show you here. I'm going to take it out so you can see. Kind of gives you a little cheaty guide on how to start with everything. And then here you go. Here's your actual board. You can see where you have room to put all of your pieces where you store it. So you can store these pieces, and then you use those resources to pay for the cards and different perks along the way. Obviously, the whole point is to get as much as possible, get those victory points, and beat everybody else. Be the best trader.
You didn't even mention
in the Mediterranean.
It's a deck builder.
It is a deck builder.
One of
those cards.
One of the earliest deck builders. I
That's true. And you're getting those cards off of the top. Those deck builder cards that they're giving you are actually abilities. So they're going to let you go and build more stuff or buy more things. They're not just like have one resource or something like that. They're actions.
They're usually more powerful versions of cards that
You have it as your starter hand. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love the actions. You get to select what kind of actions you're doing for your turn. You're moving your boat and stuff and your people around trying to go to the different places on the map to trade all these things. You're killing me. It's already needing to be settled again. What's wrong with you? Oh my goodness.
It's about 47. So I like it almost as much as you do.
Wow, you do like it a
I
lot.
like that game. It's a good game.
It's so much fun. And it's
a nice little Euro game.
It is, and it's strangely addictive for the one that seems to be the one that everybody makes fun of, right? Because they're like, this is the plain Jane primo example, poster child for trading in the Mediterranean. You know what? That is a really darn good game. Really good.
I like how you pointed
And
very aggressively.
I'm pointing aggressively at the game sitting in the chair over here. But what's neat too is that we played it for the longest time with just the base game. You don't need the expansion to make that game good. It does make it
and you know what
really
else?
awesome.
There's tons of maps for it that we don't own.
Really?
Yes.
So if you really want to play it over and over and spice it up a bit, there's a lot of options to do so. We were happy for the longest time with just the base game. We finally got that Concordia Salsa. And it is really delightful. And I can imagine the maps would be wonderful to mix things up. We almost always play on the same one because we like it so much. But, you know, to each their own. And there's a lot of variety, and I love that. And it's just, I don't know. It makes sense to me. Concordia is going to be that game that is around 20, 30 years from now. It's just going to be. Because it's just, it's like the Catan of trading in the Mediterranean.
Kind of, yes.
It really is. Love it, love it, love it. If you haven't played it, I do recommend you give it a shot. And that was my number 47 last time. That's it! That's my 40 through 31.
Wait, it was your 47 last time?
It was my 47.
My 47 this time.
I know.
So you're like a year behind.
Or ahead.
Well, actually, yeah, you're ahead, I guess, if we matched before. I don't know. Anyway.
So, we'll hunt or break more board games next time. Stay tuned as I give you my 30 through 21 next time. Bye!